Hey lovely people out there, how are you all doing? This is your Staggered Nikita and welcome back to Nikki's Staggered YouTube channel. Today's video is one of the most requested and one of the most anticipated video as we are about to end this year 2022. It's about Saturn's move into the sign of Aquarius, which is going to take place on 17th of January 2023, and Saturn will be in Aquarius for the upcoming 2.5 years of time. And that's why this is a very crucial, significant move of planet Saturn. And we are going to understand how it's going to impact each one of us depending upon our ascendant and moon sign. So stay tuned till the end and don't forget to hit the like button, share this with your near and dear ones. And do not forget to watch the intro part, as I always say, because that's how you will be able to understand and align your energies with Saturn's transit in the sign of Aquarius. If you want to take a professional consultation from me regarding your horoscope, then you can send an email to nikkistarguide@gmail.com and all the details are given in the description section. So now Saturn is going to go in its Mooltrikona sign of Aquarius. What is Saturn? Saturn is the Karmakaraka, and Aquarius is about inventions. Aquarius is about working in group setups. Aquarius is about uplifting humanity, making the world a better place to live in. So now the Karma Karak meets the sign, the energies of invention, which means what? Wherever the sign of Aquarius falls in your chart, you are going to witness some revolutionary changes. Some deep realizations are going to happen for you and for all of us. All right. So first of all, understand the significations of the house where the sign of Aquarius falls in your chart. If you have any planets in the sign of Aquarius, or Leo, or Aries, or Scorpio, then this transit is going to be highly significant for you as well. So when Saturn will be in Aquarius, this is a time period when we have to bring some positive, constructive, and revolutionary changes in the aspect of life where the sign of Aquarius falls. In this video, I'm going to share a 5 key step formula with you all, by following which we can make the best of this transit. Because I have made this 5 key step formula in congruence with the energies of Saturn in Aquarius. So without any further ado, let's get started. And you can watch the analysis from both your ascendant and moon sign. Also, your natal planetary placements and your current Mahadasha and Antardasha will also be crucial in terms of defining the results, the actual results of this transit of Saturn in Aquarius. Now, what does planet Saturn represent in astrology? Saturn is the Karmakaraka planet. It governs the duties, the responsibilities, the hard work factor, patience and persistence. And we think that, we can keep certain things hidden from Saturn's eyes, but Saturn is the planet which keeps a check on our actions, on our thoughts, especially on the motives behind whatever we do in this life. So never think that anything can be kept hidden from Saturn's eyes. It is a slow moving planet. Saturn keeps a check of everything that's happening in our lives, and it is well known to give positive results only after putting in the consistent efforts. For longer duration of time, we have to exhaust ourselves. We have to invest ourselves, our time, resources, energy, mind. We have to get frustrated. We have to get happy in the process. We have to love the process. And only then Saturn is rewarding to us, rewarding towards us. We get the rewards from Saturn only if we possess certain qualities like punctuality, discipline, having a routine, having a structure, order about our day-to-day life. Thinking about others, finding happiness in serving others, working for others, and efficiently using our time and resources, talents and knowledge and skill sets in making life better is what keeps Saturn happy. I, me and myself mentality doesn't work in case of Saturn. You reap the rewards of the type of karma that you perform. That's how Saturn works. Saturn represents old age. It is also the significator of career, and it also governs the health related to the bones, especially related to the vata element or the air element in the body. Saturn is a servant who loves to work for other people, and it finds happiness in working for other people, being of help to other people. That is why Saturn gets exalted in the sign of Libra, which is the sign of masses, which represents dealing with other people. So Saturn overall is a planet of justice. So the more one is focused on what kind of karma one is performing, the better the results are going to be in terms of Saturn. Now, what is the sign of Aquarius all about? Aquarius is the natural 11th house of the Kalpurush Kundali. It is also known as the Labhasthana of the horoscope. I guess Aquarius is the most important, most crucial sign for the Kali Yuga especially. Aquarius carries deeply rooted subconscious desires related to our goals, wishes, dreams, ambitions. What our soul wants to do and achieve in this lifetime. What are we here to give out to the world in this lifetime can also be seen through the sign placement, house placement, and the planets posited in the sign of Aquarius or impacting it. It carries highly philosophical, innovative, eccentric, scientific, yet rooted kind of energies. It carries the humanitarian energies where it makes us think about others rather than I, me, myself. Aquarius carries the kind of energies where it makes a person find satisfaction and fulfillment of desires through being of help to others, through working for a higher cause and a mission, to be of help to others. It is the house of our routine income as well. So the source of income and how a person will earn his bread and butter on day-to-day basis can also be seen through the 11th house and its lord's placement in the chart. Aquarius is probably the most important sign in Kali Yuga, as the ambition is growing higher in people, as there is no end to how big people want to grow, let it be financially, status-wise, reputation-wise, or even through entrepreneurial pursuits. The network circle, our fellow peers and colleagues, and elder siblings can also be seen through the 11th house. Now let's talk about the positive points of this transit. So Saturn in Aquarius will open up many doorways to innovation, opportunities to broaden our horizons, to experiment into the world of science, into the world of innovation. New technologies will be coming into reality during this time. And especially Saturn in Aquarius will boost us, will prompt us to go after our long-term dreams, ambitions, and goals. Saturn will promote growth, but with a sense of responsibility. Remember, Saturn is the planet of karma. It loves discipline. It wants us to be law-abided. So what exactly we should be doing is we will be making plans to turn something impossible into possible by being innovative in our mind with our ideas. But we have to be practical enough to execute them into reality. So be creative with your mind, be innovative with your ideas and concepts, but you have to simplify it and execute it in practical reality. By keeping the execution process simple, one would be able to fetch better results of this transit. It supports the establishment of new social reforms, group settings. People are going to be more rebellious than ever before, and they are going to be left and right and center behind new ideas. So working in group settings, more gatherings, we can expect people of various nations, backgrounds, cultures, traditions will be joining hands for a higher cause. And on an individual level, one or many of our long-term desires, dreams, ambitions can turn into reality, of course, depending upon our own Mahadasha, Antardasha, and our natal planetary placement. But each one of us will be able to fulfill some of our desires during this time. If we are ready to put in the driven work into our projects, into making new connections and friendships, reflecting on our current network circle, and understanding the true essence and meaning of success, passion, desire, goals, gains, friendships, resourcefulness. So all these things will be tested during this time as they are directly interlinked with Saturn in Aquarius. Now let's talk about some of the challenging aspects of this transit. So major challenging themes to look after during Saturn's stay in Aquarius are to get out of your own mind and to be in the present moment, to make it look easy and effortless. As Saturn is a serious, cold-natured, aloof-natured planet, and Aquarius is a fixed sign, right? So once some habits are imbibed in your personality, any of the behavioral patterns you decide to stick to, then it's very hard to make a change into them. So Aquarius also carries eccentric, philosophical, scientific kind of energies. It can make us overthink everything. Aquarius being a fixed sign, whatever we feed our mind with is likely to get engraved into our personality. So once we get fixated on certain kinds of behavioral, neurotic, and thinking patterns, it gets tough to rewire ourselves. And Saturn being the Karaka of the Dusthanas, that is 6th, 8th, and 12th house, as well as the 10th house of the Karma, it can make one most ambitious or opposite to that, the most depressed person. So be wise and mindful while selecting your network circle. It promotes scientific vision, it promotes research, but do not isolate yourself so much that you become a robot and not a human being. So keep on mingling with your friends, do some fun activities, do not just get all occupied with your vision and mission. Certain challenges around forming and sustaining friendships and interpersonal and societal networks would be slightly challenging during this time. So be honest and take time before trusting people easily. Those who are not serious about their finances, duties, responsibilities will be having a tough time, as Saturn would mold them into disciplined people in all above mentioned aspect. So life can be a bit challenging at times, but if you're consistent and if you have that vision and if you're ready to let the time, or let it take some time, then Saturn in Aquarius can be an easier transit for you. Saturn from the sign of Aquarius will cast its third aspect onto the sign of Aries. So now what it shows is that we would be asked to put in a lot of hard work into attaining betterment of our personality, as Aries is the first house of the Kalpurush Kundali. It is all about self. So constant assessment of our own personality, our life path, our goals, health, and vision for life is necessary. A little laid back attitude can cost us a lot. Do not give up on your dreams during this time, rather take courageous steps. All right. Saturn don't want us to take a U-turn from our visions and ambition. All right. Rather, it wants us to be disciplined, to be courageous, and to be ready to see the results that we want into pieces. All right. So we might not be able to achieve all the massive success that we want to achieve in one go. Rather, Saturn's way of working is that you have to be patient and persistent to achieve anything that is sustainable, that is long term, and that is stable in life. So let it be success, let it be a good health, good vision for life, or any kind of desire that you want to fulfill in this lifetime. So Saturn wants us to take calculated risks to improve our life. Saturn would aspect Rahu and Jupiter in Aries in the sign of Aries in year 2023. Shows that innovation, rebellious attitude, and optimism will be tested and suppressed up to a certain extent, and we will be left with no other option than to work, to have a solid routine, to be humble, and be considerate about others as well, because Aries is about self. Rahu is this grand energy, is this massive hunger for success and improvement, whereas Jupiter amplifies and magnifies, doubles down whatever it sits with. So now Jupiter is also optimism. So when Saturn will aspect Jupiter and Rahu in Aries, it is gonna hinder some amount of optimism factor in us. It is gonna create certain problems with overconfidence. If you have any of it, then please remain practical, please remain humble. Even if you are practical or not, but remaining humble and Check the practicalities behind your innovative plans and only then go forward with it. That's how Saturn aspecting the sign of Aries will be able to handle well with our mindful attitude. Next in the line, Saturn's seventh aspect will be on the sign of Leo. Seventh aspect of Saturn is about tolerating the pressure. Restriction and pressure in various life scenarios is going to be the theme in the areas of life that are represented by the house where sign of Leo falls in your chart. Leo being the royal kingly sign ruled by planet Sun, here Saturn will create pressure and issues around self-esteem, self-image related matters, and relationship with the government, authorities, or our own equation with the interests, hobbies, and passion will be put under a test. Saturn would love to make us find true joy, inspiration, and a sense of self by being of service to others. You got to protect somebody that is behind you, that is below you in the society or around you. So do not try to use your power against people. Rather, try to utilize and execute your power in such a way that it will uplift those around you and those behind you. That's how you can please Saturn in Aquarius. As the one who tries to show ego, one who is being run by ego or self-centric pattern will be damaged during this time, or can face some hurdles during this time, if I have to say in an appropriate words. Remember, a king is respected, loved, and admired by the people for protecting them, for uplifting their lives, and not for being rude to them or being self-centric, right? So follow this ideology and Saturn Aquarius will be able to be a smooth time period for you. Last but the most important 10th aspect of Saturn will be falling on the sign of Scorpio. The 10th aspect of Saturn is the ultimate key to knowing what kind of responsibilities and karma one is here to perform during this lifetime. Now, in transit, when Saturn aspects the sign of Scorpio with its 10th aspect, it wants us to contemplate and learn to make sense of the chaos within ourselves. So, suppose if you're going through some kind of chaos in life, or you feel that there is a chaos within me that is hard to get rid of, then this is the perfect time period to take accountability, to take responsibility of that chaos, and to start the hunt within, start the search for it, right? Why am I like this? What should be changed? Check wherever the sign of Scorpio falls in your chart. Those aspects of life, you have to take accountability, you have to take responsibility, and now you will be asked to manage it better than previous times ever in your life. So we have to get comfortable with our own faults, errors, mistakes, first of all, because Scorpio is a fixed sign, it is a water sign, and it also shows that Saturn might ask us to deal with some of the deeply rooted subconscious fears that we have been carrying around since past many years, long time. So once you become comfortable and once you accept some of your mistakes, errors, you can become humble. You can adapt to difficult transformative situations with ease as you understand life's true nature. Remember, life humbles you down, right? So do not show ego. Rather, whatever is trying to mold you into a better person, go with the flow with it. All right. The best thing to do is to become more calm and composed. Have this kind of attitude. Wherever the sign of Scorpio falls in your chart, be ready to unleash the best of yourself in that particular aspect of life. More and more responsibilities will be thrown at you to make you live out your purpose, to take charge in those areas of life for the next 2.5 years. Now let's talk about the 5 key step formula to understand the themes of Saturn in Aquarius during its stay for 2.5 years of time, and how it's going to play its role in our life and how we can make the best of it. So the number one point is innovation and originality. One thing that makes this transit so unique, that Saturn in Aquarius favors, or rather it promotes, originality and out of the box thinking. So Saturn here, what it does, it rewards the people who are rather being authentic, genuine, and most importantly, innovative in their approach, in their thought process, in their conceptualization, and not just innovative in terms of any one aspect of life, but in your behavior. You have to be innovative, you have to be observant, you have to be thoughtful, you have to be research oriented. You got to think how you can bring betterment in yourself and in the lives of other people around you, in the surrounding that you live in. So Saturn here doesn't like you merely trying to copy paste others' ideas or concepts, living inside a box. It wants you to be innovative, but to have discipline to your actions, to your goals, to your new ambitions, to the plans that you want to incorporate in your life, to the visualizations that you want to turn them into reality. So, what your motto should be during this time is to be you and show the world the real you in all aspects. Let it be your ambition, your thoughts, your behavior. It doesn't mean that you ought to be okay with toxicity or eccentricity, like I'll be bossy or I'll behave the way I want to be. No, that doesn't mean that you are being innovative. What I'm telling here is to be authentic, but by following the guidelines and the rules and regulations of the law, of the universe, of the humanity. It means that you got to be listening to your heart's calling and try to execute it in the most modest, humble, law-abided, yet innovative and authentic manner. The second point is about research and contemplation. As we all know, Aquarius is all about deep philosophical thinking. It's all about experimentation. Saturn represents deeply philosophical, serious natured thoughts. And Aquarius is symbolized by a man pouring in the water through his pot. So what do we understand from this symbolism of the sign of Aquarius? Is that learning and educating oneself, researching, contemplating should be one of our topmost priority during this time to make the best of this transit. No shallow thoughts, ideas, or concepts would be entertained or can become a massive success. Remember, Aquarius is about your highest goals, ambitions, fulfillment of desires. So if you wish to become a success in the society, if you want to be known, if you want your idea to become a reality and accepted as a business model by other people, as an example, then you got to be a deep thinker. You have to get out of the comfort zone and think thoroughly, because that's how Aquarius works. So you have to put in the back end work for a longer duration of time, the more you want it to become a success in the outward reality. So make sure to make the foundation strong of whatever you are researching about, whatever contemplation you are doing, and just work according to the symbolism of the sign of Aquarius. The man is sharing his knowledge and wisdom to the world out there. So you got to be focused on implementing, incorporating, and sharing your research and contemplation with the world. The third point is about seriousness towards managing one's finances. Being the original 11th house sign, also known as the Labhasthana, whereas Saturn is the ruler of the sign of Aquarius, it now wants us to become serious about our financial management. More research in the field of business management, finance management, how to be more resourceful, how to amplify and double down on our resources, our finances is going to be the theme of this transit. So we would be witnessing more and more revolutionary changes in the field of finance as well as scientific research as well. Financial planning and income increment will be our key focus when it comes to the personal life management during this time. As Aquarius and the 11th house is about financial gains, is about all kinds of gains. So make sure that you are utilizing your networking skills appropriately to double down on your resources, on your finances, and get serious about your financial management, because unless and until you are serious, you are disciplined, Saturn will not be able to give you good fruits in terms of financial gains. The fourth point is about desire, ambition, and power. As a human being, we are led and ruled by our desires, ambitions, and dreams. A mere desire turns into a burning ambition, which ignites the passion into us, making us hungry to fulfill the goal and the dream that we have. So keep a check on your hunger. Be hungry for the right reasons. Remember, I'm not saying that it's bad to have ambition, desire to become powerful, to have that authoritative post, to get that best possible increment out there, to have the great number, the great salary, right? All I'm saying is one has to make sure that they are being mindful of their desires. Why do you want to become powerful? What do you want to do with that power? For what are you being ambitious? Is the reason good enough? Is the desire leading you to the ultimate outcome that you actually desire to have in your life, to experience in your life? So all these questions and introspection is necessary when one desires to experience the ambition, power, authority, or success, as Aquarius is the house of wish fulfillment. So to fulfill that goal and dream and desire that we have, keep a check on your hunger. And remember that with power and success comes responsibility and a truckload of work to be performed every single day, because that's how Saturn likes it to be. Saturn will give you all the power, give you all the money, but it will also give you a truckload of responsibilities. So be rooted in your ambition and work with a purpose. When you're driven for a purpose, your work will be better and you will enjoy that success when you will achieve it. So do not let greed or ego make you go haywire. On the number 5, we have humility and humanity. Now this is the most important point out of the all 5 points, because Saturn loves those who are humble, grounded, and work for humanity, who function with humility. So people who are genuinely concerned about other people are always going to be protected and rewarded by Saturn, as it's known as the planet of the masses. So group work is the best work, should be our mantra for the next 2.5 years. Aquarius is all about large set of gatherings. It's about gathering people in group settings. It's about working in groups. It's about thinking about the humanity, coming up for a shared vision, having a cause, and working towards the same mission with different minds, with different set of peoples. So it means that you have to work for a higher cause, serve others, make other people's lives better through your thoughts, through your vision, mission, goal, and especially your behavior. And each action that you take, be considerate towards your fellow humans and Mother Earth as well. Humility and humanity go hand in hand with Saturn's entry into the sign of Aquarius. For the Aries ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn is the ruler of your 10th and 11th house of horoscope, and now Saturn is going to transit through the 11th house of your horoscope. So for the Aries ascendant and moon sign natives, get ready. The good time is right here. When Saturn was in Capricorn, it was all about being restricted by your duties, responsibilities. Many of you must have changed your place of work, the type of work that you do, or you might have got relocated, or there must have been some challenges at the place of work where you constantly felt like you are in a box and you have to perform your duties and responsibilities the way it is in front of you. You had no choice, but now Saturn is ready to offer you that choice. All right, so you better get ready to make the most of this transit, because Saturn, when it's in the 11th house, it's one of the best time period to widen your horizon while being practical, while having calculative approach to life. So now what this Saturn will do is that it will first of all increase your network circle. A lot of new people are going to enter your life, with Jupiter also going to transit over your first house. or over your moon. And Rahu already being in Aries, you have already been getting out of comfort zone lately, but it was not so professional before. It was all about your personality and development, right? But when Saturn will transit your 11th house, what it's going to do is it's going to push you to make new set of friends, to have your network circle in terms of professional life. So now, if you were going out of your way, making new friendships, but it had no meaning in terms of your career, then this Saturn is going to put structure and boundary and discipline around the people that you interact with, the cause that you work for. All right. So have a meaning to your work, first of all. Whatever hard work you have done for the last 2 years, 3 years, Saturn is going to give you rewards for that hard work in its next transit in the upcoming 2.5 years of life. So Saturn, being the Labhasthana Lord, that is the 11th house ruler, and 11th house is all about wish fulfillment. So whatever wishes you had in your mind, one of them, two of them, or maybe all of them are going to get true, depending upon your natal planetary placements. So if you have a desire to get that raise at the place of work, to get that promotion, or if you want to start your own business, or if you want to experience, success in any given field, let it be you desire to have a childbirth, or you want to get married, or you want to attain that post-grad degree, any desire that you have, with right kind of consistent efforts, shall I repeat, with right amount of consistent efforts, Saturn is likely to provide you with that fulfillment of desire. All you need to do is be mindful and consistent in your efforts, and Saturn will reward you during this time period. All right. Saturn transiting in the 11th house, it's a great time period to manage your finances. There will be increment in your finances. If you were lacking resources, then this time period will help you gain that status, that fulfillment of desires, ambitions, and you will be given a lot of opportunities, to be honest, to do betterment in your life, in your personality, in your network circle as well. So by being around right kind of people, you will be making a lot of gains. So be careful, not careful, but be mindful of who you call your friends. All right. Especially your colleagues, your fellow peers, your elder siblings. All right. They will play a major role in your life during this transit of Saturn. Saturn from here will promote your career growth. It will also help you become more resourceful. In terms of health, you have to be mindful of your routine, of your, so what can happen is suddenly some health issues are popping up and you don't know out of where they are popping up. So you have to take up the responsibility of the unforeseen events. If anything comes up to the surface, you have to be ready to face that on that very moment. Okay. Apart from this, if you were waiting for childbirth, or if you have a child and you're concerned about their education, then you will be asked to look after their studies. Take it up as your responsibility. If you're not looking after it and you were expecting your child to show some results, then this time period can be pressuresome for you. So instead of that, take up the responsibility of your children's future, their life. Try to be a guide to them. Try to be a disciplinarian to them, but also have a sense of friendliness towards them. Try to show them the vision that they should have for their life. So prompt them in that direction. Saturn will also aspect your first house, that is a sign of Aries, which shows that you will be asked to make a lot more changes in your personality, in the way you deal with life. And the 10th aspect of Saturn will fall on your 8th house of horoscope, where the sign of Scorpio falls, which means that, as I said earlier, you have to get ready to deal with the unforeseen events of life, with much more grace and responsible attitude. Now, if you have any of your planets, natal planets placed in the sign of Aries, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius, then this time period is going to be extremely crucial for you, and you must look after those significations. Overall results will also be dependent on your natal planetary placements and current Mahadasha and Antardasha. For the Taurus ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn is the Yogakaraka planet for your sign. Saturn rules the 9th and the 10th house of horoscope, and Saturn will now be transiting in your 10th house, the highest of the Kendra houses, forming a very powerful Shasha Yoga. For the next 2.5 years, Taurus people, get ready to experience one of the most important, most significant, and also growth oriented time period of your life. All right, when Saturn was in Capricorn, you all must have gone through some unexpected changes at the place of work, like you had to travel a lot for your career, or there was a change in the place of work or in the job role as well. And now Saturn is all set to grant you that growth, that necessary supportive environment for you to enhance your public image. You will be focused on enhancing your reputation in the society, at the place of work. You want to fulfill your dreams, your ambitions, your desires, and you are willing to work hard for it. All right, that's what Saturn will 10th house will do. Saturn will make you experience, or it will help you to have all the necessary resources that are necessary for you to work as much as you can for the things that you truly want to work for. All right, so all you have to do is you have to maintain a good reputation at the place of work, in the world, in the society. Be resourceful, deal with resourceful people. That's how the Saturn in Aquarius in 10th house will help you achieve your goals. Also remember that when Saturn is strong in the 10th house, the divine and timely guidance will be provided to you. All right, so that's also a good thing about this Saturn. You must be willing to focus on your career. Remember, wherever Saturn transits, it makes us focus on that aspect of life. So now when Saturn will be in the 10th house, it wants you to focus on your reputation, on your authority. How much authority do you hold in this society? If you have grand ambitions and if you're not working enough, then the Saturn will not be able to give you great results. But if you have a spark in you that I want to work, I want to reach up to the ladder of success, then the Saturn will provide you timely guidance as well as opportunities. From here, Saturn will aspect the 12th house with its third aspect, which shows that Saturn would want you to look into how much resources are you spending in what aspects of life. So you should always be calculating where my energy is going, what is consuming my energy, my time, my resources. Is it necessary? Is it fruitful? Is it helpful? Or I can do any betterment in this aspect of life. All right. So this might so happen that you have a lot of stress to handle. You have a lot of responsibilities to tackle with. And that's why you are lacking sleep, or you have to put in a lot of effort in order to have a good night's sleep. So that's what you should be doing. You have to take good care of your health and healing aspect of life. Next to that is Saturn's aspect on the 4th house, which shows that you need to have a good work-life balance, because Saturn from the 10th house will aspect the 4th house, and it shows that you are prone to working crazily these 2.5 years. All right, because you understand there is some vision in front of you in your mind, and you are working 24/7 towards it. But that's not how it should be. Saturn wants you to it will put you in some limiting restrictive scenarios within the home, and you will be dealing with some restrictive environment within the home, at the place of work, and then you are juggling between these two aspects of life. So the better you are, the creative you are within the home with your family members, and you are not letting it make you fearful, like it's hampering my growth at career. No, you have to balance both of these aspects simultaneously. Saturn aspecting the 7th house also shows that if you wish to get married, if you want to take up the responsibility of marriage, or if you want to get into business, or if you are into some kind of trading or transportation business, mining work, engineering work, research work, then this period is great for you. You will be provided with ample amount of opportunities and supportive environment to support your growth, to help you achieve your goals. All right. Remember, Saturn is transiting in the highest of Kendra house, forming Shashi Yoga, being your Yoga planet, but it is also aspecting 2 Kendra houses in your chart, which means that Saturn is impacting 3 of the out of the 4 Kendra houses in your chart right now. Very, very significant time period for all the Taurus natives. You have to make the best of this. You have to lead with responsible attitude. All right. Do not behave childishly. No harm in being creative. No harm in being yourself, being authentic. But all I'm telling you to do is to take up the responsibility. 10th house is all about taking up the responsibility of your karma, of your actions, of your thoughts, of your vision. So take that accountability, feel privileged, and do it anyway. That way you will be able to make the best of this transit. Health also needs your concern, your attention. Overall, you have to work on improving your lifestyle, your life, your personality, which will result into helping you become a success. Overall results will also be dependent on your natal planetary placements and your current Mahadasha and Antardasha. For the Gemini ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn rules your 8th and the 9th house of horoscope. Saturn will now transit through your 9th house, being the 9th house ruler itself. Now, for the last 3 years, Gemini ascendant and moon sign natives were having the 8th house transit of Saturn. It was quite a difficult time, especially for Gemini moon people. They were undergoing the Ashtama Shani transit. And for the Gemini ascendant natives, Saturn being in the 8th house brought many changes in their career, in their public reputation, in their purpose as well, right? It made them feel like they are outcast. So now it's time to regain momentum in life. Remember, wherever Saturn is transiting in your chart, our focus is being shifted there. We have to put our focus, our attention, dedicated efforts into that aspect of life. Now, 9th house ruler is in the 9th house. So the focus is going to be on enhancing our luck. It's going to be on regaining that momentum that is lost, that spark that was kind of missing for last 3 years. But here's the catch. Remember, Saturn is also your 8th house ruler. So the 8th house represents sudden shifts, sudden transformative events in life, some kind of hurdles, some kind of shifts that make us change direction in life. Now the 8th house ruler is also 9th house ruler, and it's transiting in the 9th house when it will transit into the sign of Aquarius, which means that first of all, there will be some ups and downs in terms of your luck factor in life. All right, you will be prompted in the direction of doing everything that you can to enhance your luck factor, but destiny will also play out its role. So you will be focused on enhancing your luck. You will be focused on working hard towards attaining those goals, desires, ambitions, making them turn into reality, but with some hurdles. So you have to be patient, you have to be persistent, and you have to let Saturn do its work. You have to have faith in the destiny. All right. For Gemini natives, it's very difficult to trust anybody else than themselves. They are in hurry. They are always in hurry. They always have their chirpy mind talking to them. So when Saturn will be in 9th house from ascendant or moon, it will enhance your luck. It will enhance your your lifestyle, your reputation. It will give you growth, whatever you wish for, but with patience and persistence. As the ninth house ruler is Saturn and it's in the ninth house, there can be sudden shifts in your life, or there can be some positive, some negative events happening, but it is all happening for the betterment of your soul. Soul growth will be attained. You will be introduced to new philosophies. You might be even traveling abroad, or if you travel abroad, there might be some challenges that you have to face initially, and later on you will be able to cope up well with it. If you are into education, then this time period is a very significant period for you. Many of the Gemini natives, regardless of their age, will be learning something new during this time in order to enhance your luck, in order to support your career in some way or the other. So you have to be serious about your education, all right? And it's not just regular mundane education, it's about higher philosophy, it's about higher education. Saturn from the ninth house shows that your father's health might be of concern to you, or you will be dealing with your father in a deep manner. You will be dealing with gurus. You will be introduced to gurus through your career, or your career can become your guru. Your network circle is going to be one of the major factor which will make you learn a lot of new things, new lessons, as Saturn will be aspecting the 11th house with its third aspect. It shows that managing resources, networking, being friends with right kind of people who don't bring your morale down, who uplift you, or who doesn't shy away from giving you tough love, but they are also in your good terms. So you have to be mindful of all these things. You cannot be random about these things, all right? You have to be significantly conscious. You have to put in the effort to manage your finances, to manage your earnings, to manage your networking skills, and you have to be with right people, because Saturn aspecting the 11th house and then being in the 11th sign shows that there will be some significant events around your friends, around your peers, around your colleagues. Saturn aspecting the third house shows that there will be significant events with your siblings as well. So there might be some power struggle with your sibling if you have any. So you have to be mindful of that. You have to be creative. You have to learn to listen to their viewpoint. Okay. Saturn aspecting the third house also shows that there will be frequent travels, both short and long, and you have to make sure to have an agenda before you travel. Saturn aspecting the sixth house also shows to me that you have to take up the responsibility of your health, of your father's health, of your debts, of your finances, of your routine life. There will be some positive changes, constructive changes rather, I would say, you will be making in your routine life. All right, that's how you can make the best of this transit. This is a positive period than last transit of Saturn. So all you have to do is support Saturn, have faith in it, and trust in your instincts as well. You have to put in a lot of efforts to enhance your luck. Overall results will also be dependent on your natal planetary placements as well as your current Mahadasha and Antardasha. For the Cancer ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn rules your 7th and 8th house of horoscope, and now Saturn is all set to transit through the 8th house of your horoscope. Being the 8th house ruler in the 8th house, Saturn here supports some kind of research. When Saturn goes into the 8th or 12th house, remember that you are being asked to become quite secretive about your dealings. You will not be flashy about your network circle, about your source of income. You will be rather introspective, all right? So when Saturn transits the 8th house, especially for the Cancer moon natives, this is going to be an Ashtama Shani transit for you. That is Dhaya of Saturn. I'll be making a separate video about this, but you have to understand one thing, that this time period is highly transformative. It cleanses your soul, all right? It cleanses your karma. So do not be fearful of it. There is nothing to be fearful of it. Rather be embracing the new changes that are coming your way. So for the Cancer moon and ascendant natives, Saturn in 8th house will first of all prompt you in the direction of change. Change in the way you look at your career, change in the way you deal with your career. If you are on the wrong path in your career, Saturn will make you get isolated from the world, and it will make you introspect a lot, so much so that you will be ready to let go of the old career path. You will be willing to walk on a new path of career altogether. So Saturn in 8th house is a powerful time period. It will make you introspective. It will make you highly secretive. Occult interest will be increased during this time. So if you're already into occult, into astrology, this time period will help you understand your soul purpose. It will help you understand the hidden knowledge like astrology, like Reiki, or like healing sector, holistic healing. So all these things will be of concern to you. You will be putting in constant efforts into these aspects of life. All right. 8th house is also 10th to the 11th house, and Saturn is also in the natural 11th house sign of Aquarius in the 8th house, which shows to me that your focus will be on starting a side income. You are thinking about savings more than ever before. You are thinking of making money while you sleep. So that is, what do we call it, as a side income, or a second source of income will be generated during this time. You will be focused on inheritance related matters, insurance related matters. If you are to invest your money somewhere in some speculative business, then this time period is supportive of that as well. But you have to take your career choices into consideration, because Saturn represents our karma. And now your karma is going into the house of uncertainty. All right, the 8th house, the hidden activities, which also shows to me that you will be doing something regarding your career which is hidden from the world. It's not, you are not willing to tell it out openly to the world that, see, I'm doing this. Okay, you will be secretive, not because you are doing something wrong, but because you want to make sure that the plan turns out in your favor before you tell it to the world. Saturn, being the 7th house ruler, going in the 8th house in the sign of Aquarius, shows to me that there will be changes, there will be positive transformative changes in your network circle. So expect some changes in your attitude, the way you deal with other people. Your public dealings will be shifted during this time. If you are already married, then you and your spouse both are likely to become more introspective, reflective about each other, about your life, individual life in general. So you will be dealing with your in-laws more than ever before if you are married, if you are living with your in-laws, or if you are not living with your in-laws but they do exist, then you will be asked to perform certain karmas, duties, responsibilities towards them as well. So the key is to not get frustrated with Saturn coming to your 8th house. Be ready to accept certain changes. Saturn will mold you. Saturn will shift your perspective. All right. And for that, if you are not easy to bend to in front of Saturn, then Saturn can make you go through certain little bit of hurdlesome period. All right. Not a negative hurdlesome period, but it can be positively challenging period actually. Saturn will be aspecting the 10th house, shows that you have to become humble and you have to put in the effort in a consistent manner in your career. If there are any changes, you have to be ready and you have to be willing to go extra mile to take care of your career, to take care of your reputation. Saturn aspecting the 2nd house shows to me that you will be taking up the responsibility of your speech. You have to be mindful of the words that you speak, especially with your family, especially with the colleagues, with your bosses. You have to manage your finances well. There can be some changes in your food eating patterns as well. Saturn aspecting the 5th house with its 10th aspect shows that you will be taking up the responsibility of your children's life, of your own life purpose. All right, so do not let the spark that you have, the inspiration that you have, the zeal that you have in you for life get dimmed during this time. You have to work towards enhancing it day by day. You have to be research oriented, and then Saturn will prove to be helpful to you. Overall results will also be dependent on your natal planetary placements as well as your current Mahadasha and Antardasha. For the Leo ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn is the ruler of your 6th and the 7th house of horoscope, and Saturn will now be transiting through the 7th house of your horoscope. A very, very powerful time period for all the Leo natives. Saturn is forming Sasha Yoga in the 7th house of your horoscope. Saturn is extremely happy here because number one, it's in its own sign of Aquarius, the Mooltrikona sign. So Saturn is as comfortable as we are when we are within our own home. So secondly, Saturn is receiving directional strength by being in the 7th house. So Saturn is very, very powerful here. Okay. So all the Leo natives, get ready for a significant time period in your life. Saturn will take control of most of your happenings, most of your things in life. So if you are to resist the change, which you are likely to, because Leo is ruled by Sun and Saturn is the son of planet Sun, right, in astrology. So there is a little bit of tips between Sun and Saturn, or I would say ideological differences between Sun and Saturn. So you are prone to resist the changes that Saturn is trying to, bring about in your life. So my suggestion or advice to you is to let Saturn do its work. You shouldn't be resisting the change. Rather, you have to become a little bit submissive. Not submissive, but you have to be a little bit accommodating, ready to adapt to the situation. As Saturn in the 7th house will aspect both the Kendra houses of your horoscope. So out of the 4 Kendra houses, 3 Kendra houses are now being impacted by Saturn. So which shows to me that Saturn will be bringing discipline, structure, order, and significant changes in your lifestyle, in your personality, in the events that are happening in your life. So all the nonsense will be required to let go of during this time. There will be people making exits and making entries in your life. All right, new people will be coming in, old people might be going out of your life, so you have to be ready for that. Remember, whatever is Saturn taking out of your life was supposed to be out of your life. So you shouldn't be questioning things ahead of certain limit. All right, just have faith in Saturn. Saturn will try to show you the other side of reality of your life, right? 7th house is exactly opposite to the 1st house, which means that your perspective, your whole perspective will now be shifted, and you will be asked to look at life, look at other people, look at your marriage in a different perspective. If you're already married, then Saturn will help you sustain that marriage. It will help you put in the positive efforts that are necessary to bring enhancement and security, structure and discipline in your married life. If you own a business, or if you wish to start a new business, if you want to get into entrepreneurial industry, then this time period is perfect. You will be doing something with other people, you will be dealing with other people, and through that you will be gaining success, recognition. Your efforts will not be going into pain. Remember this thing. All right, so whatever you do, all you have to do is be consistent, be disciplined, have a vision, and involve other people. If you work alone, or if you don't have that visionary mindset, then the Saturn might not be that helpful to you. Saturn in the 7th house, being the 6th house ruler, also shows to me that there can be certain health aspects of your spouse that are coming to limelight, and your spouse and you are being introspective about that. All right. The same can be applied to your business partner as well. So, or you have to be mindful of your mother's health. If you are Leo moon especially, then even for Leo ascendant, but especially for the Leo moon, you have to be mindful of your mother's health. You will be visiting your mother more often. You will be spending more time with your mother. And there will be shift in the scenario, like you are becoming the parent to your parents. Remember, you might be becoming the parent to your parent. So take the responsibility of your parents' health, of your father, of your mother especially. Anything that is unnecessary in your life, all right, all the drama, all the unnecessary connections, all the unnecessary happenings in your life will now be put into the box of restriction. So you will be focused on very limited aspects of your life, and that's how it should be during this time to attain the necessary growth. Saturn from the 7th house will aspect your 9th house, 1st house, and the 4th house, which shows to me that you will be asked to make some necessary changes, put in some effort to enhance your education, to work on your principles, morals. Your beliefs will be changed during this time. There can be certain tips with your father as well, so you have to be mindful of that. Long distance journey can be a little bit challenging at times, but fruitful at the end. Saturn aspect in the 1st house will mold your personality, will shift your mindset, and it will make you look after your own health, your own life path, your goals. Saturn aspecting the 4th house with its 10th aspect shows to me that you have to take up the responsibility of your familial affairs, of your mother's health, and there will be changes. There can be relocation possible. All right. So this is how you can make the best of this transit. It's a very powerful time period for all the Leo natives, only if you are ready to support Saturn in its agenda. Overall results will also be dependent on your natal planetary placements and your current Mahadasha and Antardasha. For the Virgo ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn rules the 5th and the 6th house of your horoscope, and Saturn is now going to transit through the 6th house, being the 6th house ruler itself. So what's happening here is Saturn is a ruler of your 5th house, which shows your intelligence, your creativity, your past life deeds, your past life good karma, to be honest. And now all that intelligence, all that creative factor, all that education, learning, inspiration is now being put into the 6th house of daily routine life, which shows to me that Saturn here wants you to take charge of your routine life, of your health regime, of your routine activities, of your debts, of the daily challenges that you face. So Saturn being the 6th house ruler in the 6th house, first of all shows that there is a need of making some revolutionary changes in your day-to-day life. So you have to be accountable enough to understand where your energy, your resources are being put into, if that's bringing any reward results to you, if it's positive, if it's negative, what is the ratio of it? How much of them are positive in your favor? How much of it is not serving for your highest good? 6th house deals with some kind of challenges. So you will be presented with some kind of challenging situations through which, after showing persistent efforts, dedication, devotion, and smart efforts, smart ideation process, you will be able to gain momentum in life. So when 6th house ruler is in the 6th house in the form of Saturn, there will be connections that you will be making with your fellow peers that is going to prove to be highly significant. It can be either positive or negative depending upon your natal planetary placements. Also, if you have any planets in the 6th house, that can also be significant. So the natal chart tells a lot about your lifestyle, about the current circumstances that you are about to get into. So have a solid health regime during this time. You have to be mindful of your health. You have to work consistently to attain better health, to be in better shape and form, both physically, mentally, financially. You have to manage your debts. If you are willing to get a debt, get a loan from the bank, then this time period will help you get that loan approved. But make sure that you have a solid plan in place, because anything that is initiated when it is approved by Saturn, it is for a longer duration of time. Okay, so if you have a plan like, I'm gonna get a loan approved from the bank and I will be paying it in some 2 years, 5 years. So remember that Saturn stretches things. Saturn makes the duration longer. So whatever you initiate, if you get into a new job, then you have to stick to that job for a longer duration of time. If you get a loan from bank, the loan is going to get extended for a longer duration of time. So have all these things, in your mind. Whatever you do it by taking the long-term perspective into consideration. All right, be diligent while managing your money. You will be experimenting with your money, so there will be a lot of speculation of money happening. You will be joining the resources, you will be funding yourself, or you will be funding some of your friends, or some of your friends or fellow peers might be funding you, helping you, assisting you. So a lot of stuff happening around your money, around your career, around your health especially. Saturn in the 6th house also shows that there will be changes at the place of work, in your role of work as well. If you are a student, then more focus is going to be towards earning money, generating your own source of income to become independent, than studying. So you have to strike a fine balance here. Saturn from the 6th house will also aspect the 8th house of uncertain events, which shows to me that you will be asked to put in the efforts to control the intensity of the unforeseen events in your life. All right. Saturn impacting the 6th and 8th house and the 12th house shows a very, very powerful time period in terms of health. You have to be mindful of your health. You have to be mindful of your routine, of your health regime. You have to exercise consistently, dedicatedly, and not just for the sake of doing. By doing which, Saturn will help you have better hold of your health, of your lifestyle. All right. Saturn aspecting the 8th house also shows that you will be focused on making some investments, savings, having some hidden sources of income, or you are thinking about the future. All right. Saturn aspecting the 12th house shows that your energy, your resources, your money, your time will be spent additionally. All right. So exhaustion can be seen when Saturn is in the 6th house, or you can work like a machine. So take good care of your health. Take consistent breaks when necessary. Saturn aspecting the 3rd house of your horoscope with its 10th aspect shows that you will be experimenting with your courage factor. All right. There will be significant events with your sibling as well. So you have to be constructive in your behavior, in terms of your executing your courage, in terms of dealing with your sibling, in terms of dealing with your neighbors, with your childhood friends. And you have to experiment it in such a way that is helpful for your betterment of future. All right. So Saturn in the 6th house is a good time period if at all you are ready to put in the effort. If you are being lazy, if you are not looking after your health, if you are not being courageous, if you are not being positive and ready to do the hard work, then this time period can be slightly challenging. Overall results will also be dependent on your natal planetary placements and your current Mahadasha and Antardasha. For the Libra ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn is the Yoga planet for your ascendant and moon sign. Saturn rules the 4th and the 5th house of your horoscope, And now Saturn is going to transit through the 5th house in its Mooltrikona sign of Aquarius. Libra moon natives especially, you all have gone through the 3 years of Kantak Shani transit, that is Saturn transiting through the 4th house. It was kind of a pressuresome period for you all, especially for the Libra moon natives, whereas Libra ascendant people also had their own share of learnings. A lot of relocation related things must have happened in your life. A lot of focus on healing your own emotional wounds from the past must have been in your focus. Now Saturn is going one step ahead of that, and it's granting you the space for executing your ideas, for making gains through all the wisdom that you have gained over the last 3 years. You have worked a lot on your familial matters. Your focus was on your family, on your home, familial responsibilities. You might have had to look after your parents' health. You must have been inside the enclosed spaces, like within your sanctuary, within your home, at your motherland. And now is the time to make gains in life. Now is the time to really focus on your own lifestyle, on your ambitions, on your desires, right? 5th house is about intelligence. 5th house is about our Purva Punya, that is past life good deeds. So now all your past life good deeds will be coming to fruition. You are depending upon your karma. These 2.5 years, Saturn will give you opportunity to enhance your luck factor, to work hard. If you want to get into any entrepreneurial pursuit, if you are serious about your hobbies or interests and you want them to turn into a business model, then the year 2023 is especially going to be significant for you all. If you are thinking of childbirth, or if you already have a child, then next 2.5 years are going to be where you are going to be significantly focusing on your children's life, their upbringing, your own education. If you are a student, then you gonna become more serious, or Saturn would expect you to become more serious about your education and your career as well. Saturn being in the 5th house also shows that you are going to become more serious in general about your life. Your perspective about life is going to become serious. Saturn from the 5th house will aspect the 7th house of marriage, partnerships, business dealings, public dealings, shows that you will be asked to put in more efforts towards your marriage, towards your business, if you own any, towards public dealings. So there can be some friction when it comes to public dealings. It might so happen that you are uncomfortable around certain people, and Saturn would want you to assess your public dealings. Whom are you dealing with? Why are you dealing with them? Is it really necessary? Is it beneficial? Am I being the right person when it comes to public dealings? Am I being diplomatic? Am I being correct? So all such questions can be asked during this time to yourself. A lot of introspection about these things will happen. If you wish to get married, then Saturn would expect you to put in some effort and not prove it, but to reassess your own desire to get married. For what reasons are you getting married? Are you able to sustain it? Do you have the willingness to sustain that marriage? The effort that will go into sustaining that marriage, is it possible from you? So all these things should be assessed. One of the major themes for the Libra natives during this transit of Saturn in Aquarius is your finances, because Saturn is in the house of speculation, the 5th house, the house of creativity, the house of taking risks, right? The 5th house stands for taking risks. And now Saturn will be aspecting the 11th house of financial gains, of income. Also the 2nd house of wealth management and assets and savings. So Saturn, what it will do is it will prompt you to make long-term investments. So if you wish to get into stock market, share market, if you wish to invest or become an investor in some company, if you are willing to start your journey into the investment market, then this year is going to be significant. This whole transit is going to be significant, where you are learning to manage your finances well. You are learning to become more resourceful, and to be resourceful, you have to invest in the right places. So Saturn want you to take calculated risks when it comes to investments, because it's Saturn. Saturn is slow moving planet. It's not Mars, where you want the results out of the blue if you have made any investments. So make long-term plans for your investment, manage your finances well, double down on your resources, on your income, work hard. Do not get into short-term speculative business, rather think about the long-term goals. Saturn aspecting the 11th house also shows major events related to your father, regarding your elder siblings' life as well. And Saturn aspecting the second house, where the sign of Scorpio falls, the 10th aspect there shows to me that you have to become responsible about your speech, about the terminations or the turmoils that are happening in your life through your speech should be reassessed. You have to manage your finances well. You have to save up for the future. You have to look after your family and health of some of the family relatives as well, to make the best of this period. Overall results will also be dependent on your natal planetary placements and your current Mahadasha and Antardasha. For the Scorpio ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn rules the 3rd and the 4th house of your horoscope, and now Saturn is all set to make its move into the 4th house of your horoscope in its Mooltrikona sign of Aquarius. So last 3 years, Scorpio natives were having kind of a good time. Saturn was transiting through the 3rd house. Many of you would have gotten relocated to a new place for either their career purpose or for their education purpose. But now Saturn is coming back to the 4th house in its Mooltrikona sign, happy after almost 29-30 years. For Scorpio moon natives, this is going to be the Kantak Shani transit, that is the Ardhashtama Shani transit, alright? Whenever Saturn comes to the 4th house from the moon, there starts the period of Kantak Shani. Scorpio natives might have certain challenging time period ahead. There might be certain situations where their emotions are going haywire. There is a need of bringing structure, discipline, order in the way you process your emotions, all right? So this is for the Scorpio moon natives especially. There can be certain challenges around your mother's health, or suppose you are living at a faraway place, then you might be relocating to your motherland, or if you are in your motherland, then you might be relocating to a faraway place. Or it might so happen that for Scorpio ascendant and moon sign natives, some major event related to your mother's health or her career can take place. Or it might so happen that your mother is traveling to a faraway place during this transit for a long duration of time. Saturn, when it transits the 4th house, it shows that there will be additional responsibilities thrown at your way. So if you are living at a faraway place from your family, from your mother, from your birthplace, then you are living away, but you will not be escaped, or you will not be spared from looking after the duties and responsibilities of your family, of your mother, of your house. So do not get panicked about it. Make proper plans, have plans in place, have some regulatory guidelines or people ready to help you to make this transition phase better for you. Because when Saturn comes to the 4th house, what it does is, it first of all makes you slightly cold-hearted. You start to get detached from your feelings, from your emotions, all right? So if you are not very well versed at regulating your emotions, then this can make you go aloof. This can make you give silent treatment to your loved ones, which in turn proves to be not so beneficial for you. All right. So regulate your emotions well. Speak up when it's necessary. Aquarius is about acquaintances. Aquarius is about making connections. So now you will be asked to make, form and sustain those relationships with the people visiting your home, with the people who are like your family, who are your family. All right. So a significant time period for Scorpio natives, because Saturn from here will aspect the sign of Aries and Scorpio, both the signs ruled by your ascendant or moon sign ruler Mars. So whenever Saturn is in Aquarius, take a look at Mars's dignity in transit. Whenever Mars is strong, it's going to help you cope up well with your emotions, with your life, with the way you deal with the familial affairs. All right. So Saturn aspecting the sign of Aries, falling in the 6th house, shows to me that you will be asked to look after your health. If you're not conscious, if you're not mindful, and if you're not mindfully putting in the effort to remain healthy, then there can be certain health issues related to bones, related to nervous system, related to lungs, heart. So you have to be mindful of that. Also, kidney related issues might pop up if you are not being mindful. It also shows that you are prone to become more controlling, because Saturn, what it does is when it's transiting through the 4th house, it can increase your frustration. All right. So process your emotions well and show some maturity to own up to your mistakes. If there is a need of giving out any explanation to your near and dear ones, then do that without any fear, without any guilt, without any ego. Saturn wants you to become humble, to humble down and look after your own emotions and then deal with others. All right. Saturn aspecting the 10th house shows that you will be more concerned about your career, about your public image. There can be certain imbalances between the work life and the home life. So your focus is so much onto the home life that your career is being put at stake. So you have to be mindful of that. You have to give equal attention to both these aspects of life. All right. Remember, the more you are stable and grounded in your emotions, in your heart, within your home, with the near and dear ones, the better your career will be. Saturn's 10th aspect on your ascendant or moon sign definitely shows that you will be asked to become humble, to be more human, have more humility for others, for yourself as well, and then go ahead in life. All right. So less anger burst outs for Scorpio ascendant moon sign natives. You must show less anger to others. You must learn to process your emotions, which is going to help you have better health, better wealth, better career, and peace of mind. Overall results will also be dependent on your natal planetary placements as well as your current Mahadasha and Antardasha. For the Sagittarius ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn rules the 2nd and 3rd house of your horoscope, and now Saturn is all set to make its move into the 3rd house in its Mooltrikona sign of Aquarius. For the last 3 years, Saturn was transiting in your 2nd house. It must have given you a lot of lessons and learnings about being disciplined around your financial matters, about the wealth management aspect, about the familial life aspect, as well as taking care of your food eating habits, taking care of your values. It must have shaped you into a better person, into a more of a grounded person. All right. But now there is good news for Sagittarius moon natives, especially as you are about to get over the Sade Sati period. So you are all set to fly high, start your life with a fresh perspective. After all, you must have gone through a wonderful journey of 7.5 years of full of learning, full of shaping and growing into a better person. All right. So both for the Sagittarius ascendant and moon sign natives, when Saturn will transit your 3rd house, it's going to be one of the great time period of your life. And I do not mean to exaggerate it, because Saturn's transit in the 3rd house is considered to be one of the good period of life. You are going to be more courageous. yet practical. So what do I mean by this? So Saturn, what it will do by transiting to the third house is that it will prompt you in the direction of making long-term goals, um, of trying to put your ideas into a box of practical, feasible manner. All right. So many of you are all set to start their entrepreneurial journey. If you had a wish to start your own business, if you always wished to become an entrepreneur, to do some kind of business with your childhood friends, with your neighbors, or with the people surrounding you, the people that you mingle with on everyday basis, or you have a business plan of which involves dealing with people living in your community, or if you want to start an online business, then this time period of Saturn in Aquarius is going to be an excellent period for you. During this time, there is going to be a significant event or theme happening around your siblings' life, all right, in your siblings' life, around your siblings. So if you have siblings, or if you have a significant friend from your childhood days, then these people are going to be key factors in your life. So be mindful of all these events. You should be practical enough to assess the situation well before making any kind of judgments. Saturn, when it comes to the third house, what it does is it makes you more serious about life. Okay, because Saturn is going to impact your fifth house, which represents your creativity, the inspiration that we have for life, the enthusiasm that we show, the zeal that we possess to live life to the fullest is now going to get impacted by Saturn. Also, the 12th house of horoscope will be impacted by Saturn, which indicates that now the imagination, the creative factor, the zeal factor is going to get hindered because of Saturn's practical influence. So now what happens is a person becomes more cold natured, more of practically inclined. So whatever decisions you are making in life, whatever calculations you are doing, everything will be influenced by Saturn. You will be becoming courageous, but only for the practical terminologies. That is, your career, or for your finances, or for your business, or for your job. But when it comes to the living significations of 5th house and 12th house matters, like regarding your progeny, or regarding enjoyment factor of life, all right, you might become a bit more cold-hearted. So just be mindful while taking these decisions. You will be more calculative during this time. Make sure where your energy is being exerted, what kind of people you are surrounding yourself with. Are you adding any value to their life, or either they are adding any value to your life? So you have to make sure of these things, because Saturn in Aquarius in third house will help you turn your passions, hobbies, and interests into a solid, concrete business plan, a business module, which will help you earn financial freedom. All right. This time period can also be significant when it comes to your relationship with siblings, with fellow peers, with friends from childhood, with your neighbors, especially with your father. So your morals and principles will be tested. So you will be asked to be inside a box for some time and outside of the box of limitations for some time. So this in and out scenario will be happening in your life every now and then, and you will be asked to cope up well with it. All right. Saturn's aspect on the fifth house also shows that there will be major events happening around the progeny matters, around your own education if you are a student. Saturn's aspect on the 9th and 12th house shows that if you want to go away from your house, if you want to pursue any higher education, if you want to travel related to your business, regarding your career, regarding your sibling, or regarding your travel plans, then this can happen during these years. Saturn's 10th aspect on the 12th house shows that you have to make wise decisions that are congruent to your life purpose, to your life path, to the way you want to spend your money. Overall results will also be dependent on your natal planetary placements as well as your current Mahadasha and Antardasha. For the Capricorn ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn is the ruler of your ascendant or your moon sign, and Saturn is now going to transit into the second house of your horoscope in its Mooltrikona sign of Aquarius. For the last 3 years, Saturn was in your ascendant or over your moon. So Capricorn moon natives were going through the peak phase of Sadhisati. Now it's about to get over. It's a great news. Saturn has given you many lessons around how to achieve stability in life, how to become more confident person, someone who is more grounded, someone who is self-reliant. So now it's time to reap the rewards of the hard work that you have put in for the last 3 years. It's actually a good time period, according to me, for all the Capricorn natives, both the ascendant and moon sign natives, because Saturn is in its own sign. So you being ruled by Saturn and you being familiar to the Saturnian energies, this time period is actually one of the best time period for you to achieve, to fulfill your desires and dreams and ambitions. All right. What happens when Saturn comes to the second house of horoscope is that you become more responsible about your own wants and needs, about your family's wants and needs. So one of the major themes that would be taking place for all the Capricorn ascendant and moon sign natives is that you will be taking up the responsibility of your family's well-being, of your family's financial situation and state. So new ways of generating wealth acquirement, investments will be taken seriously by you. All right. Expect some dietary changes. Expect certain food that will not be easily digested by you. So you might become prone to certain food eating patterns and habits, or you might have to see the doctor for your dental health care. So make sure you are looking after all these aspects of your personality, of your health especially, of your life as well. A lot of emphasis is now being put on the way you speak, on the way you manage your wealth assets, on the way you deal with your family, the way you are going to be shaping up your values and principles and morals. All right, because second house shows what do we value. So one advice I would like to give to all the Capricorn natives is to think about the ROI factor in each aspect of your life, that is the return of investment. So what do I mean by this is that if you're helping somebody, or if you are putting a lot of emphasis on any aspect of your life, you have to think about the ROI, that is return of investment of my efforts. All right, because this time period is when your moon sign ruler is going one step ahead. It's the gain of your mental well-being. It's the gain of your fulfillment of desires, your dreams. For the Capricorn natives, it's the gain of your personality. So you have to think about what is adding value in my life. Who is adding value in my life? If the things that you involve into, if the efforts that you put in, if the people that you invest your time, energy, resources, money into, if the work that you do is not adding anything up in your life, something positive in your life, then that is not the ideal scenario for you. All right, because for the Capricorn natives, the transit of Saturn in Aquarius is all about adding things up, adding value in your life, in your personality. So just make sure about these things. If we have to take a look at the aspect of Saturn, then Saturn will aspect the 4th house, 8th house, and the 11th house, shows that there will be a lot of efforts that you will be putting in to manage your familial well-being, to manage your home affairs. If you want to invest in property, then you might have to put in some effort to find the best suitable property, best suitable house at a suitable deal. Saturn aspecting The eighth house also shows that there will be some changes in your diet which will help you get control over the unexpected sudden health ailments. Saturn's aspect on the eighth house also shows that you will be becoming more focused on gaining control over the unexpected sudden events taking place in your life. Saturn's aspect on the 11th house is the 10th aspect of Saturn, shows that you are going to be becoming more serious and focused regarding your financial matters. So suppose you are working in a company and you are not happy with the current salary, then it will be really hard for you to continue in the same scenario. You will start looking for a new job. You would definitely be willing to get that raise, get that high paying job. So it's a favorable time period actually to elevate your financial stature. So be ready to put in the effort, take that risk, and take calculated risk so that it would help you in elevating your financial status. Overall results will also be dependent on your natal planetary placements as well as your current Mahadasha and Antardasha. For the Aquarius ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn is your 12th and first house ruler, and now Saturn is all set to transit into your first house of horoscope. So for the last 3 years, Aquarius ascendant and moon sign natives have had kind of a rough patch of their life. Even if you are ruled by Saturn itself, but still, when Saturn was 12 places away from your ascendant or your moon sign, you had to learn to let go of a lot of things. You must have let go of a lot of people, a lot of habits, a lot of circumstances. You must have learned to walk away from things and people and situations. But now is the time when Saturn is all set to give you some positive results, especially to Aquarius ascendant natives. This is one of the most fruitful, beneficial time period of your life. You must make the best of this time period, all right? And for the Aquarius moon sign natives, this time period is also beneficial for you, but it will offer additional responsibilities, of course, to both the Aquarius ascendant and moon sign natives, but mainly to the Aquarius moon sign natives. This is the peak phase of Sadesati. So additional responsibilities will be thrown at your way, which might make you feel weighed down, but you have to learn to cope up with it. You have to enjoy this journey, as Saturn will only do good to you, because remember, it rules your ascendant or your moon sign, right? So a planet which rules the sign itself where it's transiting, where your ascendant or moon sign falls, it's not going to do anything bad. It's going to prompt you in the right direction. All you have to do is to listen to your gut instinct, is to walk on the pathway shown by planet Saturn. So when Saturn comes to the first house, either over your moon or ascendant, now you don't want to deal with anything that weighs you down, all right? You are thinking about your own ambitions, your desire fulfillment, your wish fulfillment, because you already have had walked away from a lot of things and aspects of your personality and life, both in the last transit of Saturn. So now your focus should be on only engaging in the situations, scenarios, with the things and people that uplift you, that add value into your life, into your personality. So always be in learning mode. For all the Aquarius natives, I would like to highlight this part, that Saturn is the Karma Karaka planet. It might so happen that you are becoming more disciplinarian of a person, you are becoming cold natured, or you are in general becoming strict in your approach. But do not forget to be a learner. Saturn, what it does is, if other planetary placements are not supportive, then it makes a person get involved in constant work. It makes a person workaholic, all right? So you have to strike a fine balance between managing your personal life aspect as well as the profession. When Saturn transits the first house, it's going to make you more responsible person. You will be becoming more of a grounded, solid, calm and composed, as well as visionary kind of person. All right, you will be having a vision for your life. Aquarius is the sign of wish fulfillment. So now your ascendant or moon sign ruler being here in the first house indicates that any of your desire can get fulfilled. It can turn into a reality. Only you have to choose it. You have to choose what you want to become a reality in your life, and Saturn will show you the way. Of course, depending upon your own karma, your natal placements, Saturn will twist and turn your life, your personality accordingly, but still, you will be given the free will to decide what all things that you want in your life, what kind of experiences you want to experience right now. So make sure that you are being clear in your mind about what all things are you looking to manifest in your reality. When Saturn transits the first house, it helps in making the present reality better. Saturn is the Karma Karaka planet. It represents the Kal, the time. So now the time is favoring you. The time is favoring you to fulfill your desires. So you must make the best of it. Saturn aspecting the third house with its third aspect indicates that Aquarius natives will be asked to narrow down their focus when it comes to their day-to-day life activities, or regarding the hobbies and interests that they have, or with the people that they mingle with the surrounding that they surround themselves with. All right, so make sure only the needle moving tasks and the most important individuals are getting your attention. You have to be focused. You have to develop sharp focus to do only the things that matter the most to you to make your present reality better. Saturn aspect in the seventh house with its seventh aspect indicates that if you wish to get married, this is the great time period to do so. If you're already married, then in both scenarios, you will be asked to take up the responsibility of marriage if at all you wish to get married, or if you are already married. Just make sure that you are not being too harsh, or you are not being too cold all of a sudden with your spouse, all right, or your business partner. Saturn's 10th aspect on the 10th house indicates that you are in immense need. You want to secure your reputation. You want to build your career up. You want to attain that authority, that reputation, and that recognition, or at least stability in your professional sphere of life. So with consistent efforts, and if you are willing to put in the hard work dedicatedly, then Saturn will help you immensely in fulfilling all your desires in various aspects of life. Overall results will also be dependent on your natal planetary placement and the current Mahadasha and Antardasha one is undergoing. For the Pisces ascendant and moon sign natives, Saturn is the ruler of your 11th and 12th house of horoscope, and now Saturn is going to make its move into its Mooltrikona sign of Aquarius in your 12th house. So when Saturn was in Capricorn for the last 3 years, Pisceans have had a good time, actually a great time when it comes to their wish fulfillment, when it comes to their financial gains. Now Saturn is going one step ahead into the 12th house of your horoscope. So now what it's gonna does is it's actually gonna make you more of a Piscean. Now what do I mean by this? Remember, if you take a close look at your chart, you are being ruled by Jupiter, by the sign of Pisces, which is the natural 12th house sign of the Kalpurush Kundali. And now Saturn, being the 12th house ruler, will transit in your 12th house, which means that the 12th house energies, the 12th sign energies are now becoming double. That's why I said that you are going to become more of a Piscean than ever before, my all Pisceans. Which means what? You are prone to do a lot more research than ever before. You are prone to isolation. You are prone to thinking deep and thinking more than necessary. All right. You are become more charitable, philanthropic. You are prone to becoming depressed if other planetary alignment supports in your chart. And if your ascendant ruler is weak, then this Saturn can impact your psyche like never before. All right. So it is a double-edged sword for all the Pisceans, I would say. My number one advice to you all would be that get involved in some kind of project work, in some kind of research work, in some kind of scientific work, because Pisceans are naturally prone to devote themselves to something higher than themselves. So it's better to devote yourself to a higher cause. So it can be a project, it can be a particular kind of work or a job role, or it can be for a mission for the humanity. So you have to, in general, work for the collective. If you are thinking only about yourself, and if your work is not bringing any direct betterment in anybody's life in some way or the other, then this transit can make you feel slightly challenging. It can make you feel disappointed with yourself, because Saturn represents darkness. Saturn is a deep thinker. 12th house is also about all these things, plus your sleeping pattern. So now when Saturn will be in the 12th house, you have to be mindful of your sleeping routine. You have to be mindful of the thoughts that you entertain in your mind, in your life. Be around people who make you feel good. Talk to people who are mature than you, who also have the enthusiasm and the zeal for life, to make the most of life. Because when Saturn is in the 12th house, what it does is it kind of blocks your imaginary skills to a certain level. It makes you see the world either with a practical perspective or with a deep thinker's mind, or like a philosopher. So those who are into research, occult, astrology, astronomy, creative writing, art, media, journalism, or if you are living abroad, or if you wish to go abroad, then this time period is going to be helpful to you. Saturn, when in the 12th house, what it's gonna do is it will make you zone out from the mundane world. So you have to be around people, you have to be around those and do things that make you happy. If you have to be mindful of your expenditure as well. You have to look after your health as well. Saturn from the 12th house can induce a lot of laziness. All right. So stay active, stay athletic, go out often, be around nature, have a solid routine. Also, be ready to mold yourself according to Saturn. Okay, if you try to oppose Saturn a lot, then this will create a lot of pressure and hurdles in your subconscious mind, resulting in weird circumstances that you suddenly get into in the outside reality. Saturn's third aspect on the second house indicates that there can be certain restrictions, or you have to put in a lot of efforts in your familial matters, in the wealth management as well. So it might so happen that there is a lot of expenditure taking place for the health of one of your family members, or your own health, or because you want to travel or you wish to go abroad, there is a lot of expenditure taking place. Saturn's seventh aspect on the sixth house indicates that you have to have a good routine. You have to be dedicated and consistent in your efforts if you wish to fulfill any of your desires. If you move away from your place of birth during this time, it's going to be even more helpful. Saturn's seventh aspect on the sixth house indicates some kind of health ailments, especially if you have any planets over there. You have to be mindful about the significations of those planets. Saturn's 10th aspect on the 9th house indicates the need to bring about structure, discipline, and order around your morals, your principles, your beliefs. If you are a student, if you are pursuing higher education, if you wish to go abroad for education, or if you simply want to get admitted into a course which involves any kind of higher education, holistic healing, or healthcare practicing, then this time period is favorable for you. Developing and sustaining good relationship with your gurus, with your father, is also a must during this time. Overall results will also be dependent on your natal planetary placements and the current Mahadasha and Antardasha one is undergoing.